All right.
Hi there, my name is Emmanuel Rodriguez, and this is my presentation. Is entitled Seeking Alternatives. The gift of life is an awesome thing. We're all blessed to be able to be alive today, and we are blessed to have normal lives where we can play sports, go to school, get an education, hopefully get good jobs one day. But what if that gift was jeopardized, and what if it was because of the lack of education or knowledge of your parents while you were in the womb during pregnancy? There was a research study done from 1996 to 2002 over 64,000 Danish children. USA Today is where this resource came from. The study was about how the use of acetaminophen, which is the most common active ingredient in the painkiller Tylenol, if consumed during pregnancy by pregnant women, could eventually lead to their child obtaining ADHD later on in their life. And taking acetaminophen during pregnancy could lead to ADHD-type behaviors, chronic problems, and hyperactivity. And the researchers found out that Tylenol acts as a hormone disruptor that affects fetal brain development. So what they found out was, over time, over research during questionnaires, that the mothers took acetaminophen or any other type of painkiller that contained acetaminophen, and it was linked to ADHD development in their children or certain type of behaviors that were common and related to ADHD. What is ADHD? The National Institute of Mental Health states that it's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's most common in childhood in most children, and what happens is they have a hard time paying attention, sitting still, or they're overactive or hyperactive. So you have a child that looks normal, seems normal from outside, but inside their brain they have so many things going on they can't control them, they can't sit still. You put them in classroom and they're just talking, you tell them to be quiet, 2 seconds later they're up running around talking again. And there's also 3 subtypes of ADHD. They're predominantly hyperactive or impulsive, which is a child that his main problem is that he can't sit still. He's just running around, nothing keeps his attention, he's just bored all the time, so he's just running around trying to be active. The second one is predominantly inattentive, which means they can't pay attention. So no matter what happens, they're just focusing on something else. So they'll try to focus on one thing for a couple seconds, and then all of a sudden their mind's somewhere else. So they just have all these thoughts going through their head, and they just don't know how to control them. And the third is combined hyperactive, impulsive, and inattentive, which seems to be the worst because you just got not the best of both worlds. We have both of them. You can't sit still, and you just think about so many things at one time. It's horrible. And the problem with this is for ADHD is the child doesn't choose it, and it could have been prevented, and they have to go through their whole life going through it. You can't really get rid of it. You can just be medicated. And it brings up a lot of daily struggles for the children at home and school, because at home, if you can imagine, you have a child that can't sit still, doesn't pay attention, won't listen to you, so you tell them to sit down, and then 2 minutes later they're running around, and as much as they want to, they can't keep it in, they can't sit down. So they're always going to get yelled at, they're going to be in trouble with their parents, and it's just going to cause trouble between them and their siblings, because when their siblings they're not acting up, they're going to have one kid that's constantly disrupting them, and nothing gets done. And in school is even worse, because now they're in a classroom with other students, and they're just bothering everybody, they keep talking, they keep acting up. The teacher has to send them to the office, and they have to be in special ed classes, and it leads to like depression and other kinds of symptoms in kids, because now they feel an outcast. They don't feel normal, and everybody treats them differently. So this one simple disorder can just bring about a lifetime worth of problems for a child. And statistics that were found in this research study for children whose mothers consumed acetaminophen during pregnancy is they're 13 more likely to show ADHD-like behaviors such as hyperactivity and cognitive problems throughout their lifetime. They are 37% more likely to be diagnosed with hyperkinetic disorder, which is equivalent of high-end ADHD, which is just, if you can imagine how bad ADHD is, it's like that on steroids. And they're 29% more likely to get ADHD medications, which nobody wants to medicate their child. It just numbs them, changes them. Medication just changes you from who you're supposed to be to what the medication wants you to be. And prevention is possible, and this is what we're trying to get to. CorePhysicians.org states that there's alternatives to painkillers, because most people think that, oh, I have a backache when they're pregnant, and the first thing they want to do is solve it by taking a pill. But instead of just jumping to the pill that can lead to ADHD, there's different alternatives, such as art music therapy, which is the same thing as simple distractions. You do something that's therapeutic to you, that you love to do, whether that's playing an instrument, painting a picture, playing basketball or something. Get your stress out and your tension out, and it'll help reduce the pain that you're feeling, so you don't have to resort to painkillers right away. And there's biofeedback, which is a machine that monitors your stress levels. So what they do is they hook you up to a machine, and then you do your activity that distracts you and is supposed to release your pain, and it can tell you which activities benefit the most, and you figure out which activities actually helping you out. And there's acupuncture, which is where trained physicians stick needles in the body in different places, and it helps relieve stress that way, and it helps relieve pain. And one of the main ones actually is nutrition. If you actually just have a good diet, you can have better pain tolerance, and certain foods actually agitate pain, and increase pain, or bring on headaches, and don't make the situation any better. And they also found out that comfort foods are one of the best ones to have too, because it releases serotonin in the body, which is a natural chemical that calms your body. So if you're eating something that calms you down, then you're more likely to focus on something else and not worry about the pain. In conclusion, so the research study they did found out that acetaminophen was a link to ADHD development in children if their parents, or their mother that is, conceived it during pregnancy. And we found out that ADHD is a rough disorder for a child to cope with. It leads to them feeling like outcasts, sometimes depression, and it's just horrible for anybody else around them to deal with. Which leads us to the whole purpose of the speech, was that it can easily be avoided if people are just knowledgeable and people are proactive and aware in others and raising awareness that popping a pill, yes, it can take care of your pain in the next 15 minutes, but ultimately it can damage a child's life, so that we should seek alternatives for pain management. Thank you.